So, what are emotions and why should we not attach to them? And I feel like, emotions get a bad rep in society with these ideas of I'm too emotional or um, so what are emotions and why should we not attach to them? Emotions, the energy in motion. Everything is vibration. And we are like a vessel for energy, for life as energy to move through us. And emotions are that as well. They are vibration, different types of vibration, different energies. So there's one that we would call happiness, sadness, joy, fear. And they rise and they fall. Everything rises and falls out of awareness. And the problem happens when we start to, or when we don't acknowledge them, don't give them the full presence that they need, and they start to become stuck in our vessel. So really, they just want to move through us, and we can experience them and let them go on their way. But what happens is they come in, and we go, I don't want to feel that, so I'm gonna shut it down, push it away, and suppress it, and or get attached to it, identify with it, make it who I am. When we say, oh, I'm sad, we are identifying with the sadness and letting it have a home in our body, essentially, rather than I'm experiencing sadness, this is what's happening at the moment, and it will be okay. And what happens when these things come in, they can be really intense, and they're in our body, right? A lot of the time we're in our mind, but they're in our body, and they might be like asking us, they might be drawing our attention there. But because it's intense, we might not want to be there. And what happens is the mind is our protector. So the mind comes in and wants to make meaning of what's going on, and it will create a story around it. I'm sad because you did this. I'm angry because last year this happened. It will make meaning, and it will attach it. It will create a narrative around it. It might attach it to some other thoughts from the past or from the future, which is taking us out of presence, right? So the mind loves to protect us, but in this sense, it's actually creating more attachment. It's getting us more into the drama of the emotion, which just wants to move through us. It's just energy doing its thing. And the way to combat this is to be with the emotion, to be curious about it, to create space for it, to understand it, and to not like run away from it. And that involves being in the body, being present with the senses, getting curious about the size, the taste, the texture, the experience of the sensation of the emotion. When we can do this, we can save ourselves from a lot of suffering. If you remember the last time something happened and you drop into a story about it, and how many steps, how much energy did you put into following that story, telling it to someone, making it bigger. Every time we put attention to something, we put energy to it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so when we start to acknowledge this and see ourselves as a conscious creator, or as somebody, as the power, as we attach, as we acknowledge it, the power that we have within ourselves, we can say, yes, this is happening, and I'm going to choose to put my energy into witnessing it, letting it move through, and not into the rabbit hole of why is this happening. And this is Tantra teaching. This is a way to be with our emotions rather than attaching to them, and it's the fastest way to digest and release, so that you can really just keep on going with your trajectory, whatever that may be. So I just invite you to begin to notice what happens when an emotion arises, what stories arise, acknowledge the stories, see if you can come back into the body, seeing where your attention, awareness is taken, right? Oh, I'm in my mind, I'm in the story now. I acknowledge that, come back into my body, I'm going to be with this emotion from a non-judgmental place, not from a place of, this is this, this is that. Simply being in deep presence with the emotion and seeing how that unfolds for you. I'd love to hear how that is for you. I'd love to hear your reflections, and subscribe and stay tuned. Much love.